Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another Yoga with Paige. Today we've got a deep stretch and strengthening, deep stretch and strengthening practice for you. I've got this new little microphone, so hopefully you can hear me much better from here on out. Feeling a little like Britney Spears this morning, channeling my inner Britney. So anyway, what you will need as far as props today for class is a yoga strap. A yoga strap. Do you know, you've seen those? You can, if you don't have one of those, maybe a scarf or a thin blanket, not a super chunky thick blanket, but something thin that can be, that's long and rolled up. What I would avoid is like a little hand towel, a little dish towel. That's going to be a little too short for us. So if you need to pause this video to go locate your strap or your scarf or your blanket, do so, and we'll meet right back here on the mat. Okay, now that we have our scarf, just keep it handy over on the side. We are going to get into deep stretching parts of the body, but then we'll also be finding a little strengthening too. So a nice little counterbalance we'll be experiencing in the body, and we're going to be starting on our back. So whenever you're ready, come on down to the mat, extending the legs down the mat, arms down by your side. Beautiful. Now, if this feels comfortable to have the legs extended long down the mat, then do so. If you're looking for a little less tension, then go ahead and bend the knees and plant the feet on the mat. That is just fine too. Wherever you are is perfect. Now, get comfortable here. Just kind of like soften, maybe shimmy the shoulders down the mat, down the spine. Maybe you pick up the hips and tuck the tailbone a little bit and set the hips back down on the mat. Maybe flex the feet back towards the face to find a little bit of space in the Achilles and the back of the calf and in the feet, and then you just let your feet relax. So we definitely don't want to find any tension keeping them flexed, but just simply to create space there. Our arms can be down beside us. Good, now tune into the breath. And I want you to bring your left hand to your heart and then your right hand to your belly. Beautiful. And then take some big, deep inhales and exhales here. Your inhale comes through the nose, expands the lungs, the ribs, and the belly. So feeling the belly expand into that right palm. And then as you exhale, feel the belly pull away from the right palm, emptying completely, softening, 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 and then exhaling all the way out through the nose. Good. Another round just like that. Big breath in. Feel the expansion in the chest and the belly. And then as you exhale, feel it all begin to empty completely. Let's take a few rounds just like that. Nice and slow. Notice what you're feeling. Notice where you're feeling it. And then perhaps try on extending the exhales, finding a little more length and stretch. So stretching the breath here, allowing it to span and last for as long as you can, comfortably. If your mind is wandering, just bring it back. Bring it back to the breath, bring it back to the sensations you're feeling in the body. Big breath in, fill, 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 fill. More breath, more air, more expansion, more space. And then exhale. Nice and slow. 2 more full rounds. Exhale, nice and slow. Slowly releasing one molecule of breath at a time, if that even makes sense. Nice and slow. Cool, one more full round. Biggest yet, deepest yet, stretching the breath here. Beautiful. Now this breath, we're going to carry it with us through our entire practice, okay? Don't worry, I will remind you many, 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 many times. So from here, grab your strap, your scarf, your blanket, whatever you got. And then go ahead and pull the right knee in towards the chest. And then once we're there, go ahead and lasso this right foot with the blanket. Awesome. Good. So now we're extending up through this right foot, finding a little extension in the leg and finding this, tautness in the blanket and in the strap. We're pulling down into the strap. Beautiful. But notice, not at the expense of our shoulders. That's why I mentioned the dish towel was going to be a little too short for us here, because we're looking for length and surrender, relaxation in our upper body here, but using our arms and the strap to our advantage to pull down into the foot, right, to create a deeper stretch here. So we're going to find a bit of a flow in this pose. So take a big breath in to connect with your breath in your extension. And then as you exhale, bend the knee and draw the knee into the chest. Yeah, so now you're really pulling up on the strap into the sole, the ball of the foot here. Our shoulders are soft against the mat. Good. Your inhale, we find some extension. So we're really reaching up here, like reaching up from the hip bone and reaching up through the knee and through that right ankle, reaching up through the bottom of the foot, while pulling the strap down into the foot, right? Shoulders remain soft. So that's our inhale. Our exhale, bend the knee. Leg comes back into the chest. Good. Inhale, extend. Good. And then exhale, contract. Beautiful. Inhale, extend. And then exhale, contract. That's nice. So we're pumping some blood into the right leg here. Might be getting a little warm. And saying hello to your body, to your right leg. It is morning where I'm at, so and perhaps it's morning where you are when you're watching this video. So saying good morning, leg. So nice to feel you. Awesome. We'll take one more full round here, wherever you are. Coming back to the breath if you've lost it, and letting the breath lead you. So your inhale is extension, and then your exhale, take the bend. Beautiful. Now what we'll do here is take both ends of the strap or the blanket or the scarf, whatever you have, into the right hand. Okay, so my left hand is free. Now slowly begin to open the leg out towards the right, nice and gently. So we're not looking for any particular depth here. We're not looking for any particular straightness in the leg. So keeping a gentle bend in that right leg. We are just getting started. We're just getting warmed up. These are some pretty intense stretching and stretches that you might feel to the back side of the leg and now towards the inside of the leg, now that we've shifted open. So keeping a gentle bend in the leg, in the knee, and coming back to the breath here. Notice if you're stressing and hanging on to the shoulders, or maybe you're clenching the booty muscles or the feet or the belly. Soften those areas of the body. We are not using them right now. Beautiful. Come back to the breath. Fill the belly with the inhale. And with the exhale, empty completely. Awesome. Go ahead and bring this right leg back up to center. We are going to pull it gently in towards us now. So taking a bit of a bend, not major, but not straight. So just a slight bend here. And now we're going to pull this right foot back towards the face. Now, find your edge here. We are certainly not looking for any bit of pain, but finding whatever feels like a hurt so good, right? If you know what I mean by that. A comfortable stretch in the back side of this right leg. And maybe a static hold, which is just holding it here. Maybe that doesn't feel good for you this morning. So perhaps moving into a dynamic movement where you're finding just a little bit of motion as you open up the back side of this right leg. So find whatever's going to feel best for you right here, right now, today. Maybe you watch this video again on another day and you feel completely different. You want to try something new. Cool. You know you. Awesome. Great. Okay, let's come back to center here. And now what we'll do is unlasso this leg. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit so I have some space. We'll move into our twist here. Awesome. So the right knee comes back in towards the chest, and then draw the right leg across the body. Yeah. Oh, that feels so nice. Nothing like a good twist in the morning or in the evening. Twists any time of day really are just quite lovely. So your right arm can be extended out beside you. The left hand can be on the outside of the right thigh. And if that feels like it's pulling in the low back or it's uncomfortable and tight, then perhaps you take a little more of a bend in that bottom knee, that left knee. That could soften things a little bit for you. So play around a little bit, maybe make any minor shifts. So we're experimenting here, taking inventory of the body. Get a nice deep twist in, deep stretch. Come back to the breath if you've lost it. Returning to your inhales through the nose, and then your exhales. Nice and deep. Inhale, expand the belly. And then exhale, empty. Beautiful. So let's bring that back up to center. Both feet can come to the mat. Let's reground our hips. Notice any differences, sensations that you might be feeling from the right side of the body to the left. We did a lot of work opening up that hip there in the twist. And the right side body, we got into the back of the right leg, the calf. So let's take it to the other side. So we'll extend this right leg down the mat if that feels good, and then draw this left knee in towards the chest. Know that you can always bend that long leg down the mat. You can always bend that if that's going to feel more comfortable for you. So, and then grab your strap once again. Now we're going to lasso this left foot this time. Oops, perfect. That feels nice. Cool. So noticing what you feel here right off the gate, right off the bat. We'll do the same here. So our inhale is going to be this position, our extension. And then as you exhale, pull the foot in towards the body. So the knee comes towards the chest. Now soften the shoulders. Notice if they are doing all the work here. Your inhale, you'll find extension of the leg, reaching up through the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling, and then down with your exhale. Take the bend. Inhale, extend. And then exhale, bend. Beautiful. So pulling that strap into the foot to find just a little more leverage here. Cool. Take 2 more full rounds of extension and flexion using your breath. So feeling like really reaching with the leg and really pulling with the strap. Also, maybe moving this slow is uncomfortable for you. And I would invite you to lean into that sensation a little bit more and be curious about, why is this so uncomfortable? Why is this so uncomfortable? And lovingly listen. If you don't have the answer, then that's okay. Just keep exploring. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up the leg towards the opposite side, and I need to rotate. So I'm just going to spin around. You can stay right there if you have the space. I had a nice little wall in my way. So both straps, both ends of the strap will come into the left hand, and then slowly, gently begin to open up this leg out towards the left. Beautiful. So we've got a big opening happening on the inside of this left leg. So find your edge. If this is painful or too much, or you're clenching and stressed, then just come out a little bit. Come out and maybe perhaps bend that left knee to get rid of some of that tension. And then once you find your edge of comfort and pain, you're kind of like not pain, but discomfort and comfort. Once you've found that edge, then come back to the breath and breathe there and finding and feeling this deep stretch happening. Softening the shoulders, softening the face, the neck, the jaw, the eyebrows. Softening the teeth. Notice if you're clenching. Notice if you're flexing this foot or stressed in the hips or the buttocks. All right, bring that left leg back up to center. And now we're going to move into our hamstring stretch. So take a slight bend in this knee. So not straight, but slight. And then now we're pulling, using the strap, that foot back towards the face. Oh my goodness. So we're opening up a whole bunch of stuff back here in the back side of the leg. I can feel it for sure. If it's too much, just bend the knee a little bit more. And maybe when you bend the knee to find a little more depth, try on straightening the knee there. So if you're in your straight leg, then you bent your knee to pull the foot back, now try straightening the leg to deepen the stretch. So try that on. See if that feels good. Beautiful. Okay, so now go ahead and pull this knee in towards the chest. We're going to unlasso our leg, and we'll move into our twist here. So knee comes in, and then cross the body with this bent leg. Beautiful. Both shoulder blades are down on the mat. Left arm extends long. The right hand can be on top of this left thigh. And then notice any pulling or sensation that you're feeling in the low back and the hips here. So you can always take a deeper bend in the bottom knee to help find more comfort. Comfort is key. just because we can muscle through and hang out in a pose that isn't exactly comfortable doesn't mean that we should. So finding ways always to make yoga and the pose and life really more comfortable for us and therefore more enjoyable. So really come back to the breath and balloon the belly with air. Notice how the breath feels in the belly. Maybe temperature, maybe you notice depth, the pace. Awesome. When you're ready to come out of this pose, bring the knee back up to center. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Give a nice little circle of the ankles, both directions. We'll bring some movement in. Awesome. So we started with a really, really nice deep stretch. And now, let's move into a little strengthening. What do you say? Awesome. So from here, just go ahead and flip right on over to your belly. I lied to you. Let's stay on our back. Let's stay on our back, and then we'll flip to our belly here in a bit. Okay. So here we are, moving into a bridge pose. So now we're going to work on strengthening the legs and the thighs, and it's going to get into the abdominals here just a little bit too. So bring the heels towards the hips. So there are some yoga practices that will tell you to bring your heels to the hips, but I find that that's not exactly comfortable in the knees for me personally. So I like to take a little more of a loose bend. They're still definitely bent and the heels are towards the hips, though a little less intense. So once we're there, press down through all four corners of the foot and then lift and spread the toes here. So we are engaging the front side of the legs. We're moving into bridge pose. Arms are down by our sides, palms are facing up, shoulders are rolled back and down into the mat. Now take a deep breath in here and then play with tucking the tailbone. So we've got this slight tuck of the tailbone, and then once we have that tuck, then we exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky. Beautiful. So now we've got a beautiful big opening happening in the front side of the body while simultaneously firing up the muscles and bringing some awareness and attention and strength to our legs and our booty muscles, and with our core slightly engaged here too. So we definitely don't want to engage the shoulders or any of the muscles in the arms, so softening those. We're not working those right now. Now come back to that breath, filling the belly completely with the inhales. And then as you exhale, pull the belly button back towards the spine and find this like gentle reach and this gentle tuck with the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Inhale, fill, and then exhale, tuck. Now reach the knees out away from you. Yeah, so we're finding and creating more length and more stretch in the front side of the body. Hang in there. We're almost done. Big breath in through the nose. Good, and then exhale. Squeeze the booty, tuck the tailbone, and reach through the knees. Awesome. Lift and spread the toes. Make the feet participate. Two more full rounds of breath. You got this. Big breath in. Expand, fill the belly. Exhale, empty completely. Tuck the tailbone. Lift the hips up, 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 up. Yes. One more. Beautiful. To come out of this pose, listen very carefully. So take a deep breath in. Now hold the breath and tuck the tailbone and just bring the upper back down to the mat. Beautiful. Breath is still held. Hold the breath. Again, tuck the tailbone. bring the middle back down, tuck the tailbone again, bring the low back all the way down to the mat. So coming down in phases and in segments versus just plopping down, taking care of our spine, taking care of our body. Beautiful. So now we're going to move into some abdominal exercises. So I mentioned deep stretch at your core. So here on your back, this is one of my favorite core exercises. And very sneaky. It quite literally, oh man, is one of the best strengthening exercises that I have experienced. What you'll do is you'll go ahead and bring the legs up, right? So we've got 90-degree bends, and then cross this right leg over the left. It could stay right here, or perhaps if you can tuck that right foot underneath the left calf, then awesome. This is perfectly fine. Just wrapping this right leg over the left. Beautiful. Now from here, what we're going to do is just bring our hands to the top of this right thigh, okay? And so we're going to be creating some pressure and applying pressure with our hands, our own body, into the top of the thigh. So you can, if you just like play with it right now, you can already feel the abdominals working. It's amazing. Like I said, sneaky. Okay, so from here, shoulders are down and back. They're relaxing into the mat, okay? I'll remind you through all of that because very likely your shoulders are going to want to come up and hunch forward. So take a deep breath here, fill the body with air, and then hold the breath, tuck the tailbone. So tucking the tailbone here, lifting it up and off the mat. And then as you exhale, head and shoulders stay down, but you're pressing the hands into the thigh and pressing the thigh into the hands. Holy moly. Our core is waking up. Keep going, keep going. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Press, 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 press. Inhale, release. I told you, sneaky. Inhale, hold the breath, tuck the tailbone, and then exhale, press. Hands into thighs, thighs into hands. Press, press, press. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep going. Nice and slow. Nice and delicious. Nice and strengthening. Beautiful. Inhale, release everything. Take a huge breath in. Hold the breath. Tuck the tailbone. Exhale, press. Press, 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 press. Firing up the core, engaging the core, activating and engaging and strengthening this part of our body. This part serves as the foundation. It stabilizes and strengthens our low back. Keep pressing, keep holding. Beautiful. Inhale, release. Hold the breath. Tuck the tailbone. Last one on this side. Exhale. Press, 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 press. Soften the shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, release. Whew. Holy moly. Okay, great. That'll wake you up. Even if you just like skip the rest of this practice this morning and just focus on that, I promise you will be alive and ready to take on the day. Abs, by the way, are really, really, really great for digestive dysfunction and waking up the organs of the body and kind of giving them a nice little internal massage. So if you experience digestive dysfunction, perhaps like diarrhea, constipation, Crohn's, IBS, any of those things, then working the core should be your number one focus. Stay tuned for an all core video from me. So let's switch sides. So we're going to find this left leg wrapping over the right. Maybe we get the double wrap. Maybe we just hang out with the single wrap. What we're looking for here is the 90-degree angles in our feet, ankles, in our knees, and in our hips. Okay, same thing. Head and shoulders will stay down this entire time. Okay, take a big deep breath in. Hold the breath, tuck the tailbone. There's a literal and a physical tuck here. And then as you exhale, press the hands into the thighs, the left thigh and the thigh back into the hand. So we don't want to be out here, right? We want to keep our knees stacked over our hips. That is where the magic happens. Beautiful. Keep pressing, keep exhaling. Inhale, release. Hold the breath, tuck the tailbone, exhale, press, 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 press. Nice and slow, exhale, turning on the abdominal muscles. This is fun, I promise. Inhale, release. Tuck the tailbone, exhale, press. Oh my goodness. This is so good. Inhale, release. Hold the breath, tuck the tailbone, exhale, press. Soften the shoulders, soften the face and the jaw. Really pressing the low back down into the mat. Pressing the hands into the legs into the hands. Almost there. Inhale, release. Hold the breath, last one, tuck the tailbone. Exhale. Knees are above the hips. Come on, keep going, going, going. You got this. Exhale, 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 exhale. Good. Inhale, release everything. Whew. Oh my goodness. That'll wake you up right there. Now we're going to roll over. We're going to roll over into a full body stretch. So just roll over, flip over just like a pancake. Let's just take a full body stretch here. Maybe you wiggle the hips around a little bit, taking up as much space as humanly possible. Awesome. So, since we just worked the core, let's go ahead and open up the core too. So finding some length and stretch there, because we just contracted the muscles because we were working them. So now let's find a little expansion, a little length, opening it up to create just a little more space. So coming into really one of the most powerful poses in yoga, it's called Sphinx Pose. And it looks really, really simple, but there's actually a lot going on in this pose. So your legs are long behind you, and go ahead and tuck this right toe, lift up the knee, and rotate just ever so slightly. Rotate the right heel outwards. So you're rolling that inner thigh towards the central line of the body. Okay, so we're just finding this very gentle internal rotation of the legs to help open up the back and the low back just slightly. Same thing on the left side. So go ahead and tuck this toes, lift up that left knee, and then find just a gentle rotation there. Beautiful. So maybe you felt some expansion just slightly happen already in the low back of the body. Now, we've got our elbows directly underneath our shoulders here. And we've got our hands spread wide and active, and they're pressing into the mat. So we're pressing into the pinkies and the ring finger and the middle finger and the first finger and the thumb, and then we're pressing into the palm. Okay. Now, go ahead and lift up through the head and now broaden through the collarbones. So simple. And a really big opening. This is a really nice back bend here. Nice heart opener. The more space we can create in the front side of the body, in the heart space, the easier it is to access it. So come back to the breath. Notice if the abs got you all discombobulated with your breath. So come back to that. Now notice what you're doing in this pose. What are you thinking about? Where's your mind going? Are you clenching anywhere in the body? Maybe you're clenching your booty. Soften that. We're not using that right now. really spread through the collarbones and really contract the shoulder blades together and down the spine. Awesome. Let's move into a gentle low cobra flow here. This is one of my favorite poses too, just simply to add on from our Sphinx. So with our elbows directly beneath our shoulders even still, we might take just a little bit of lift in the shoulders to find an even deeper back bend, heart opener. And then we can always come back to Sphinx. Okay, so if you're looking for a flow, if a flow sounds like it's going to feel nice, then go ahead and start that. Your inhale, you can lift the elbows ever so slightly, and then your exhale will bring you back to Sphinx. And then repeat. Your inhale will lift you, then exhale, return to Sphinx. Or perhaps you're just looking for a bit of a hold here. So we're really using and strengthening the back side of the back side of the back here. And finding a little strength in those back muscles and those itty bitty tiny little paraspinal muscles. Beautiful. Come back to the breath wherever you are, whether you're flowing, whether you're staying static. Stay 3 more full rounds of breath. If you're in Cobra, maybe you begin to find even more of a lift, and the belly button starts to peel off of the mat just a little bit. One more full round of breath here. Beautiful. When you're complete, you can bring the elbows back down to the mat if they weren't there already. And then let's go ahead and take a crocodile pose. So we're going to stack our forearms on top of one another, and we'll bring our forehead down to the top of the forearms. This is nice already. Nice little counter stretch from our deep back bend there. Let's go ahead and take a bend in the knees so the soles of the feet are reaching up towards the sky, and we're going to find a gentle swish in the legs. So moving into some windshield wipers. Oops, I'm running into the wall. Some gentle windshield wipers here to just kind of break loose that back, the low back, the hips. Going to the depth that feels the best for you and your body. That feels good. Awesome. Beautiful. So you can bring the legs back down to the mat, and then let's go ahead and press ourselves up into a tabletop position. Awesome. How are we doing here? I'm going to scoot my mat out just a little bit on this carpet. It's not ideal, but we're making it work. All right, from hands and knees, let's go ahead and take just a couple cat-cows here. Move the body around. Kind of pausing anywhere that feels super juicy. Coming back to the breath. Finding some organic sways, some organic motions and movements. Moving the hips. Maybe you stretch out the forearms and the hands and the feet. And when you're ready, we'll move into a little calf stretch. So we're going to reach that right foot back. Toes will plant on the mat. And then we'll send the weight backwards. So we're stretching the back side of this right leg, the calf and the Achilles and the foot. Now find just some gentle rocks back and forth. Awesome. It's one of my favorite stretches. So simple. Beautiful. From here, go ahead and pick this right leg up, and then we're going to take a bend in that knee and we're going to cross it to the outside of the other leg. All right. See, so we've just got like this, it's like awkward feeling probably, and that's exactly what we're going for. So now begin to sink the hips back towards the heels. So we're pressing through the palms of the hand, and we're kind of coming to this awkward child's pose. Yes, so we're adding this deep stretch into the hips, really, really deep into the hips here. So with your inhale, send the breath to the back side of the body. Sending the breath to the hips and allow it to just like permeate and wash over the hips and just wring them out. Notice if you're stretching in your shoulders, you can bring the hands a little bit closer to you to release some of that tension in the arms. Beautiful. Just bowing and softening the chest and the head down towards the mat, releasing tension in the neck. All right, making our way back up to center, uncrossing the legs. We'll take a calf stretch on the other side. So lifting this left leg back behind us, toes plant on the mat, and then shifting the weight backwards, and then forward, and then backward, and forward. So rocking back and forth here. Beautiful. All right, moving into our awkward child's pose. Go ahead and lift the leg up here. We're going to take a bend in this knee and take it to the outside of the opposite leg. Cool. So now begin to shift the hips back towards the heels, making our way to a child pose-esque type of pose. Perfect. Maybe bring the hands back towards you just a little bit, softening the tension in the arms. Now reconnecting with the breath. Bowing the chest and the head down towards the mat. With every inhale, fill the belly and feel the belly expand into the thigh. What does that feel like? So when we take those big inhales in our body, really asking yourself, wow, what does that stretch feel like? So we're stretching the belly with our breath, which is really cool because that is a stretch that we can do anytime, anywhere, for as long as we breathe. Life starts with our first breath and it ends with our last. It's this built-in little superpower that we have access to. And we can use it to access all parts of the body at any time. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and make our way back to center. Uncross the legs. Ooh, boy. All right. So we're feeling pretty good here in the hips. Go ahead and tuck the toes. And then now we're going to send the hips high. So moving into a downward dog. Oh my goodness, this feels nice. It's our first inversion here. What does inversion mean? So an inversion is simply our heart being above our head. So this is an inversion. So we've opened up the legs already, but perhaps you'd like to walk the dog here and stretch even more of the back of the legs. They should be feeling pretty good. Beautiful. Maybe you play with coming up on the tippy toes. Maybe you play with taking a bend in the knees and really pressing the chest back towards the thighs. And then setting and reaching the heels back down towards the mat. Beautiful. Our shoulders are away from the ears. We're pressing into the mat with all 10 fingertips. Coming back to the breath, softening the neck. No tension. Okay. Now, take the right leg back up behind you. So we're really reaching through this right leg here. Now, what we're going to be moving into is some knee circles. So take a bend in this knee and then begin to draw some circles with the knee. They can be big, they can be small. And when you're complete, you can extend the leg and then bring the right foot back down to the mat. We'll take it to the other side. So go ahead and lift that left leg back up behind you. Really reaching through the heel of the foot, pressing down into the right foot on the mat, and then taking a bend and then finding some circles with the knee, big or small, either direction. I would encourage you to switch directions too. Our arms might be getting tired. When you're ready, bring that left foot back down to the mat. Beautiful. All right, knees down to the mat. Let's take our knees wide to the edges of the mat here, and then we're going to take a normal traditional child's pose. Arms extend long down the mat. Chest and head bow down. Now notice what that down dog did for you. We found lots of strength, that's for sure. So we found strength in the upper body and strength in the lower body. And oh my goodness, simultaneously we found stretching. We found an opening as we did those knee circles there. So maybe it sped up the heart rate, the heartbeat. Simply notice. Beautiful. All right. From here, let's go ahead and make our way down to our back. Awesome. This feels nice. Okay, so draw the right knee in towards the chest. Grab a hold of the sole of this right foot. Need to move this. And then we'll move into our happy baby. Happy baby, beautiful. So we've got a bend, deep bend in our legs, and our soles of the feet are reaching up towards the sky. Now we've got, instead of the strap, we've got our hands pulling down into the feet, and the feet are reaching up to the hands. Beautiful. Notice where your shoulders are. Are they super scrunched up and up by your ears? Are they off the mat reaching up towards the sky? If so, that's cool, but invite them to soften. Soften, 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 soften. Down towards the mat. Maybe you let out some nice big sighs, releasing the breath. So we've done some really nice deep stretching today, and we've had a fair amount of strengthening too. We strengthened the abs, we've strengthened the legs, we strengthened the back. We strengthened the upper body and the lower body. So it was really, really nice. Your body should be feeling really wonderful right now. I hope so. Okay, Go ahead and release the grip on the hands. You can extend the legs long down the mat. And go ahead and get into your Savasana. So sliding the shoulders down and back, shimmy them down the mat, palms facing up, or perhaps you'd like to finish with your hands at heart and belly, just like we started. Wherever's comfortable for you. Maybe you reach through the heels to find a little more space in the back of the leg, the Achilles, the foot. I'll come back to the breath here. So remain lying on your back. I'll give you a few minutes in this final resting pose. Finding a nice thank you. A really nice thank you for your body. For you. For showing up. For showing up today and giving yourself love and attention and stretch and strength. Thank you, body. Thank you, me. Good job. And allowing this feeling and sensation of gratitude for yourself to just spread and permeate from the center down towards the hips, the knees, the calves and the feet. And allow this beautiful gratitude to permeate and spread from the core to the shoulders, to the elbows, the forearms, and the hands. And then allow the gratitude to wash over the head and the neck, the eyes, the ears, the jaw. And now feel this swirling, wonderful, magical sensation of gratitude just expanding across the entire body. Showering our body with love and gratitude. Cleansing it with appreciation, love, and thankfulness. Begin to deepen your breath. And gently wake up from the inside out, moving your fingers and toes. Maybe rotating the wrists and the ankles. Maybe turning the neck from side to side. Massaging the back of the skull into the mat. Beautiful. Now gently, keyword, make your way over to either side, your favorite side, into a side lying child's pose. And we'll pause there for just a breath. Reconnect. Beautiful. Now using that top arm, that top hand to slowly press yourself up into a seated position, into a comfortable position here. Thank you all so much for practicing again with me today for another Yoga with Paige. I am Paige, of course. The light in me, the light in you, it is the same, with love and with so much gratitude. 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 From my heart to yours. Namaste. I'll see you next time.